Hey everybody, my name is John. I'm here to do my persuasive speech regarding the Christian faith. Is Christianity good? And I'm here to persuade the audience that it is, depending on how you apply the faith. As a way of introduction, I have a quote here from Bill Maher. He was quoted saying in a 2014 interview from The Atlantic, he was quoted saying that just the idea that people worship the God of the Bible is insane. There is no more psychopathic mass murderer than God. Is Bill speaking the truth here? I'm here to address the cognitive dissonance that people might have. In today's world, many struggle to understand how Christianity could be the answer to stop the violence and injustice, promote peace, things like that, because of the historical things that Christians might have done. So we're going to look at three different things. First, we're going to look at the problem of the historical problem and issues that the Christian faith might have promoted. Secondly, we're going to look at what the Bible actually says on what the Christian faith is and how to apply it and what Jesus actually taught. And then thirdly, we're going to look at historically some evidence of people that appropriately applied Christian faith and how they promoted peace, justice, and reconciliation with each other and with God. So first, the problem here, we can see that based on history, many people struggle with conflict between the peaceful teachings of Jesus and the violence that is historically associated with the faith, such as the Crusades or the religious wars. So this dissonance can create confusion, causes people to question the true nature of the Christian faith. Certain groups have misused Christianity to justify violence, domination, and oppression, creating a gap between the message of love and the actions of some Christians. These actions often stem from cultural, political, or selfish agendas and not the actual teaching of Christ. The misuse of religion does not equate to religion itself, and that doesn't just apply to Christianity, it applies to a lot of religions, good or bad. So now, secondly, we're gonna look at the solution, which is the Christianity's core teaching of peace, justice, and reconciliation. We're gonna look at what it actually says in the Bible and what Christianity or what Jesus actually says. In the book of Matthew here, one of the Gospels, Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." So right there, you can see that it highlights how Jesus' teachings directly promote peace. And then secondly, the call for justice. So again, in the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, Jesus says on there that his ministry was deeply rooted in justice, calling out the oppression of the poor, the marginalized, and those who are the outskirts. Those that are not the rich ones, not the popular ones, not the higher up ones. So Jesus cared more for those people. Actually, that you can find that over and over again in the Gospels throughout Jesus' life. The Christian's call to justice confronts inequality and calls for the restoration of the right relationship between people, which again, it counteracts any perception of Christianity as a tool for oppression. Thirdly here, let us see the role of reconciliation. Again, in the books of Matthew and Luke, it says that Jesus calls to forgive and to reconcile, which shows that reconciliation, both with others and with God, is essential to his teaching. So because of what Christians or what Jesus taught, that there is reconciliation with God through Jesus, that if we actually accept that and learn that and what Jesus did for us, then it is easier to reconcile with others. It's easier to promote peace, justice, equality, and it's easier to esteem others better than ourselves. By embracing reconciliation over division, Christianity offers a transformative solution to global conflicts. Right? So thirdly, we're going to look at historical facts, evidence of Christian faith being applied appropriately and rightly. So first one here, Christianity's global contribution to peace, justice, and reconciliation. Christian organizations play a significant role in global peace efforts. Right. So first example here we have Eusebius from the mid-3rd century, a long time ago. But during that time, there was a plague that kind of took over North Africa, and a lot of people died. I don't exactly know the number. You can look into this, and you can actually find a lot of people died. So what people did was that they kind of ran away, and those who stayed are actually those who were Christians, who said, "Hey, if these people were created in the image of God, just like I am, then who am I to turn them around, to turn away from them?" So knowing the risk of staying and contracting this disease, this plague that they had, they still went in and took care of these people. Author Lawrence Kinker wrote an article stating that in 1789, a social reformer named William Wilberforce became the voice for the abolition of slavery. This was due to his conversion into Christian faith. So another example here is William Wilberforce, who wasn't raised as a Christian, later on became a Christian, learned about Christian faith and what it actually says and how to actually apply it, and how he's been redeemed through Jesus. So now he's saying, hey, what are we doing? Like, this is not the appropriate way of applying Christianity, having slaves and things like this. So because of what he learned, because of the Christian faith, he actually became again the voice for abolition of slavery during those times. By focusing on justice and reconciliation, these efforts resolve the cognitive dissonance between the actions of violent historical events and the true Christian message of peace. All right, so to conclude, I got a call for action. So as individuals, we can align our beliefs with the true message of Christianity by embracing justice, reconciliation, and peace in our own lives. By doing so, we contribute to resolving the cognitive dissonance between Christianity's teachings and its historical misuse. I got a quote here from Professor Robert Woodbury from Baylor University. He published a study in 2016, and he states that the greater the effect of Christianity in a country, the more likely the government are to respect human rights and the less prone they are to tyranny. Atheist historian Tom Holland states in an article that Christianity is the reason why it's nobler to suffer than to inflict suffering, and why we generally assume that every human life is of equal value. So the world needs peace, justice, and reconciliation now more than ever. And by understanding what Christianity actually is and what it actually teaches, and applying it to our lives and to other people, we can actually see that Christianity is a faith that promotes peace, justice, equality. Although there historically, again, people have misused it inappropriately, we have to remember that the misuse of faith, it doesn't equate to what the faith actually is. Thank you.